Instagram send. Hello and welcome everybody to my 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. It's good to be back here talking in English. I mean, I was in England, so which means obviously if you're in London in the summer, you're basically talking in Punjabi. I'm Gaurav Kapur, with me Zaheer Khan and Robin Uthappa. It's true, isn't it?
It is, it's very true.
If you go to Oxford Street, you basically are walking down Connaught Place or Chandni Chowk or something, right? It's just all, Puttar kithe ja raha hai, Puttar? Puttar bag de le ja, Puttar? Chal tube vich chal, Puttar? Yeah, a lot of puttars around basically. People aren't taking their daughters shopping. They're just taking their sons. Puttar! Well, Puttar, aaj ki match hai. What is the match today? There is the match today. It's the Tigers playing the Lions, right?
Yeah.
Is that fair? Bangladeshi Tigers, Afghan Lions. I've said it is so it is obviously so. It is, of course, happening in Southampton. Well, for Afghanistan, it's, well, they're out of the tournament, but Bangladesh, certainly not out of the tournament, in with a chance. They've had some interesting wins, yeah, they're playing well. Underestimate them at their own peril. The big teams is the message that they are sending out. Let's have a look at the points table right now and see who is where. Now, you look at Bangladesh there, right? You're like, 1 second, man. They are above Pakistan, they are above West Indies, they are above South Africa. When Bangladesh beats a team that's above them, you can't call it an upset anymore, Zach, can you?
Well, they've been consistent in the World Cup for sure, and consistently scoring those 300 around 300 totals. They have experienced player which has helped them. Mushfiqur, Tamim, Shakib. You can't call them now just the newcomers or at this level still figuring things out. They're pretty much sorted with their games.
What is it, 4 World Cups for a lot of them, right?
And a few of them play franchise cricket also here. So they're pretty much aware of what it takes to be successful at this level. And it's showing, they've been very confident in terms of talking. You've seen the interviews of most of the players now. Yeah. They're saying we are here to win.
Yeah.
So that they've made that shift from just coming out there and creating upsets and winning few matches and then falling back, getting complacent, all those kind of things. They're trying hard to move on from there now, move on to the next level. And the results are showing that. Like, in this tournament, they've certainly been a team to be wary of. And none of the teams can take them lightly, because in Australia game also you've seen how nicely, like, even if they lost the game, their batting plans and their processes on that particular track was just spot on. So that is something which is good for the tournament, good for the team, and that's what you would expect from team like Bangladesh as well. They've been around for what now, 20 years, almost 20 years. At the international level, so you want them to step up. I think for global cricket, it's important that Bangladesh, Afghanistan, they all step up. Afghanistan is on that journey right now. What Bangladesh have been, so they've been creating upset. You're not looking at Afghanistan just as a team who is going to go out there and win matches, or win tournaments. But you're expecting them to go out there, put up a fight, show that they are improving, evolving as a team, and which they have been doing it. So both the teams today, if you look at it, their records as well. Yeah. Afghanistan has beaten Bangladesh. So Bangladesh will be aware of that fact. And Bumpy, their coach, Steve Rhodes, has already made that, we're going to be respectful of Afghanistan.
Yeah, of course. And look at them. Look at them. They've played, this is their sort of head-to-head. They haven't played much, right? I mean, you're playing a couple of matches every year, sometimes every odd year. And they've had, what is it? They've had 3 wins over them. And but Robin, you're looking at Afghanistan and you're saying, yes, I mean, they're out of the tournament. That shouldn't matter to them, right? And it won't.
No, I don't think it will. I think Afghanistan have a lot of advantages going into this game, because they've just played 100 overs on this venue. The spinners have come good. They're feeling good. They're feeling confident. They know that it's not a high-scoring venue. It's a venue that the top score, I think, has been around 230 or so.
Yes.
So it's a low-scoring venue, and it's a slow wicket, so the spinners are in play, and all 3 spinners are bowling really well. So even if you don't go by history and just go by current form, Afghanistan are feeling really good about themselves. So for me, like I stated yesterday, that Bangladesh are favourites for sure to win, but they have to earn it from Afghanistan.
Yeah, true. It's true. It's what Robin is saying is absolutely true about this has been more of a bowler's surface than a batter's surface. And it is called the Rose Bowl. It's not going to be better roses for the batsmen. It's going to be roses for the bowlers, right, Zach? Is that in the name? They've given you a clue. Come on. Come on. That's what we do. We take out patterns here. We also bring out some interesting quotes that people have made. And my favorite definitely is Gulbadin Naik, the captain of the captain of Afghanistan, who yesterday at the press conference said for Bangladesh, and I hope you understand Hindi, otherwise I'll translate it for you. He said to Bangladesh, "Ke hum to doobe hain sanam, tumko bhi le doobenge." Which means that. By the way, 1 second. First of all, I think that Gulbadin is making a beeline for Bollywood, right? His Instagram post with his and then his dialogues and his flowery dialogues. What's going on? Has he got his second innings planned already, Zach?
He's playing mind games for sure. Like he's letting them know that okay, we've not won in the World Cup as yet, but before we leave England, we want to have that one win under our belt.
Yeah.
And making sure, and it's good to see because the way tournament started for Afghanistan, we're not going to judge them on how many matches they win. But it's just the way they go on about their business, it's a playing cricket is like a celebration for them.
Correct.
So that had not seen so far in the tournament.
The
body language, the kind of energy, excitement which they have all around when they are playing, that was missing. And now with
that happened against India.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So from the last game, again, it's seen a little bit. From India game that has given them a lot of confidence. I think that is what is very important for a team like that to keep playing with that passion. We want to see them play with that passion and try and put up a fight.
Tell me, does it seem like they're a little out of sorts? See, this is a team that's obviously a lot of players are used to playing T20 cricket, right? So sometimes just adjusting from 20 overs to 50 overs, in the first few games it looked like they had not got the memo that is 50 overs, right? They were just sort of going really hard at it and then just running out of fuel before the road ended. Secondly, they've not played against the big teams, right? So you call the proper test playing nations. They've played against a lot of associate nations when they've played one-day cricket in the years leading up to it. Do both these factors contribute to how they've been in the field the first few games?
Oh yes, I think it does. I think it has with Afghanistan. But the good thing about Afghanistan is the fact that for me, what I take out of what he said, in spite of it being a Bollywood dialogue and all of that, I think the fact that he said this is there is a certain belief that they want to play and they play with a lot of pride and they want to play to win those games, these remaining games, because there's an intention to win. And today, after the game against India, there's a confidence within that group that makes them feel like, hey, we can take Bangladesh on, and we have a chance, and we've beaten them before, so we'll give ourselves a good chance to beat these guys again. And obviously, playing these mind games also have an impact. Can rub someone on the wrong side, make them make errors during games. That can happen as well. So there are different aspects to it, but I definitely think for me what I take away from that is that they want to win. There's a desire to win, a deep desire to win and go away from this tournament with at least a couple of wins under their belt.
And Steve Rhodes has said that we are respectful of Afghanistan, but not fearful of them. So I don't know if you want to say that to anybody who's from Afghanistan, that I'm not fearful of you, because he's going to come at you. These players, they're big-hearted players, these guys. They have constantly shown that they have... Zach, can that happen sometimes? Can your passion actually drive your talent up a notch?
Well, I think what Steve Rhodes was trying to convey is that acknowledging the fact that Afghanistan have beaten them in the past, if you look at the record, and we are aware of that, but we are not going to let it play on our minds right now. We're not going to be succumbing to that kind of pressure, or we're not going to go in with that mindset on the field, hoping that, it might be the even game. What Afghanistan has been doing well is they've been putting up their overs together very nicely. So that is something which has worked for them. So when you look at this Afghanistan team, you know that they're still not ready to play that 260, 270 kind of a game, but they're ready for that 225, how they troubled India and really made them work hard. The reason for that is just they need lack of batting depth. When you have Nabi batting up the order, or when you have Gulbadin opening the innings, that shows that their batting resources are not up to international standard, or they need one or two world-class batsmen who can make that impact, which the likes of Rashid Khan or Mujib or Nabi has made with the bowling. So, their spinners, when you talk about their spinners, you're talking about their spinners being world-class spinners,
Yeah,
they come in,
true.
in that category. So, you need 2 or 3 batsmen like that to have that impact, and maybe one seam bowler. But at least with this resources, they will be able to play consistently well and trouble any team in the world
Against the best, yeah.
with surface backing them.
Yeah, like it
in
did
Rose
against
ball,
India.
Rose ball it has.
Correct, like it did against India. 34 overs of spin is what Afghanistan bowled. Got 5 Indian wickets, and India had not lost a wicket to spin before that in the tournament.
Yeah.
And so obviously you're absolutely right. They're getting, so if you look at it, they're getting 30 to 35% of the game. They're getting world class, right? Now, there's another 25% at least that they need from the batting unit, saying we need 25 overs at least from our batting unit, saying, all right, that's safe. Wickets are not going to tumble. Somebody to stay. Somebody can do what a Shakib did, for example, for Bangladesh.
You know what would be really interesting? If Afghanistan bat first, put up 240, and then they have to defend that total.
But the toss has just...
That'll be interesting,
The toss has just happened right now. Who did win? Afghanistan won? Who won the toss?
So
Afghanistan won the toss and chose to bowl.
Oh, okay.
So Bangladesh is going to be Bangladesh is going to be batting first. So Afghanistan is saying, all right, our strong suit is our bowling. Let's just do that first.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas after playing against India, they would have probably thought, I don't know, maybe we can defend the low score or something.
Yeah.
But
the information which we need is whether they're playing on the same track which they played against India, or the track is...
Yes, they are.
They are, yeah.
Ask and you shall receive, my friend.
Okay, yeah. So that is something makes this match even more interesting.
Yeah.
So basically what Afghanistan tactically want to do by winning the toss and bowling first is that they know that this wicket has what kind of wicket it is. It's going to help little spin bowlers and all that. So before Bangladesh batsmen can adapt to what kind of wicket it is, throw them in and let them suffer, let them be under that impression of we have to get to 300, we have to get to 300. It's not a 300 kind of wicket. It's a big outfield. So the boundaries and sixes on this ground, the number of that has been on the lower side. So that's something which they are looking to use it as a psychological advantage. When you're batting first, you somehow, in that mold, because Bangladesh has been approaching the game in that fashion where they're looking to get 300. They're setting the tempo that way, taking more risk up front, be it Tamim or Soumya Sarkar. So that is something they want to change and have that kind of mindset being advantages for Afghanistan bowling, because when you're taking more chances, that means more risk being taken. And the likes of Mujib, you've seen the way he got out Rohit Sharma also. With the new ball, if you're getting that kind of a grip, then you're there's something in the wicket. So,
but the opener's also a bit fragile for Bangladesh. Out of all the games they've played, there's only one half century.
What's also interesting is you see that and you also see that the Bangladesh openers have only got 1 century, but they don't seem like they're... 1
century of 62, which Tamim got.
Yeah, but they don't seem like they're out of form. For me, Soumya Sarkar seems like he's someone who's hitting the ball really well, but just not capitalizing on the form that he's got right now. So he's coming into this tournament from a lot of domestic runs in Bangladesh. And Tamim, in fact, has been looking good. He's been getting better and better with each game. He was also a doubtful starter for Bangladesh in this tournament, and then as he got back, he seems like he's gotten into the groove again. But this wicket is going to pose a little bit of a challenge for them again, because it's not going to be something that comes onto the bat that well. They're going to have to grind and graft for their runs. Now, how much are they willing to apply themselves is yet to be seen from our end. But for me, what is also interesting is that if you go back to the history, I just noticed in the history between these two teams head to head, the last 2 games that they played,
Asia Cup,
Afghanistan, when they won the game, they won it by 136 runs.
And Bangladesh only just won it.
They just made it, and that was 3 days later. So you can see that they are going into this game with history also on their hand, giving them an upper hand.
Absolutely.
And their current form giving them an upper hand. Hence, you can make sense as to where this dialogue from Gulbuddin Naib has come. They're saying that we've got your number, guys. It's about going out there, and we know this wicket better than you do, so it's about going out there and performing. morning.
Yeah, and that's why. So that's why this encounter is going to be such a juicy encounter in Southampton. Let's have a look at the changes that the teams have made. Of course, Bangladesh first because they're going to be batting. They have made the two changes. They've got Mosaddeq Hossain who comes in. They've got Saifuddin who comes in. So Rubil Hussain is out and Shabir Rahman is out.
Well, I don't know about one game for Rubil Hussain and then taking him out of the 11 again, but I think Saifuddin's come in again because he can bat a little bit more than Rubil.
I think they've decided to stick to the skeleton, So basically they've gone in with the plan that okay, this is our first playing 11. Saifuddin was not fit; he was not available for the previous game.
Right.
So the likewise replacement Rubil comes back in, and now since Saifuddin is fit, they've gone back to this to Saifuddin. Same with Mosaddeq Hossain as well. I think Shabir Rahman was a tactical move in the previous match. Didn't really work. So they're going back to Mosaddeq because on this track, the spinners are going to play a role. So,
so he does bowl
Mehdi
a
Hassan,
little bit of
Mehdi Hassan
right,
and
so
Mosaddeq will also be
that's
sharing that
interesting
burden.
because what I also see is that Bangladesh's batting unit is stronger than their bowling unit, and they don't really have a high quality fast bowler who's really quick.
Exactly, yeah.
They have medium pacers who are pretty good, who are really good, but the fast bowlers, like someone like say Taskin Ahmad is not there in their ranks at this point because of an injury. So for me, going one against one, you see that the Afghanistan bowling attack slightly have a trump over the Bangladesh bowling attack. So that would have also maybe played on Afghanistan's mind when they made the choice to bowl first.
It's their stronger suits. The stronger suits are squaring up against each other first, right?
Also,
it's the Afghanistan
also
bowling.
one of the reasons actually Afghanistan has had upper hand with Bangladesh is because they don't have out and out bowlers who are bowling quick and right at the nose and toes.
Yeah.
That kind of bowling they don't face. You've seen it with many other teams, be it Australia or India for that matter. They use that short ball pretty well against Afghanistan, to create that pressure.
Yep.
Which with Bangladesh, I think they feel more at home because they know that there is no one who is going to come and blast their batting lineup. They are just about 130, 135 kind of bowlers, barring Rubil who is not playing. He can really crank it up.
Yeah.
Or Tashkin who is not here.
Correct.
So that is something I think which gives Afghanistan that confidence. They're okay to play spin. You've seen they've negated Kuldeep also very well. Chahal also they played decently.
Yeah.
Ahmed Shah particularly using his feet. So they're more at home when they're playing the spin attack.
Both teams actually.
Yeah.
Both teams are more at home.
But Bangladesh that way has improved now. Bangladesh
For sure.
with the tactics of West Indies bowling, also using that short ball at good pace has not really worked. You've seen it with Australia as well. They managed to score those 330 plus runs on that particular surface because they have figured out a way. They have an experienced batting lineup which is missing with Afghanistan. That journey they still have to complete.
Yeah, but Afghanistan's going to be no stress today because there's no express pace coming at them from Bangladesh. We're going to show you that team in just a second, but first we want to know what your team is. Make your team on My 11 Circle. How do you do that? Well, go to my11circle.com, download the app, which you have done already. I don't know why I keep telling you to do it again and again. But then, of course, select the game. Today's game is Bangladesh and Afghanistan. Make your team and try to beat Dada if you can. Can you? No, you can't. No, you can't. You can. Come on, just try. Right, let's have a look at the Bangladesh. We just saw the Bangladesh team. Let's have a look at the Afghanistan team now. The Afghanistan team has also made a couple of changes. You've got Shinwari coming in at the top in place of Zazai, and Daulat Zadran coming in place of Aftab Alam. So those are the two changes they've made on the nose and the toes. Two changes.
Yeah.
Zazai is not giving them what they want. Zazai is not giving them that 160 brilliance that you saw against Ireland.
Yeah.
And
they've been hoping for that.
What is Zazai's strength? Zazai's strength is to hit those big shots.
Correct.
Okay. On this particular ground,
This is not his
track,
jam.
That has not worked.
Yeah.
So you need solid players who can build an innings, and play more deliveries and score runs. Rotate strike around. That is something singles, doubles is going to make the difference because the number of boundaries and sixes is less. Daulat Zadran was not available in the last game. He had some issues and injury. He's someone who can contribute with the bat as well.
Yeah.
So typically Afghanistan look to do that they have this huge batting lineup as per se where their bowlers contribute with the bat. Nabi, Rashid Khan and Daulat, they all can contribute with the bat. So that is basically the thought process around. So Shinwari provides that solidity and someone who can build an innings. Naib will be looking to take charge being an opener because that's what we've seen in the last couple of innings.
Naib, leke dubenge tumko. You guys were wondering why Rubel Hussain is not playing with Bangladesh?
Yeah.
I have the answer for you.
Okay, what is it?
Afghanistan already has Daulat in their team, so they don't need any Rubel.
Did you just come up with that?
Yes, I did. I'll give them a moment to get over just how bad that is. Just a moment. It's never a dull moment here. You guys all right? Should we carry on?
Yeah.
Zach is tweeting out that joke now as we speak.
No.
He's like, let me sort this out. It's a good one. It really is.
So we missed the toss today. The toss was delayed. So, I'm just trying to catch up with what
yeah, so two changes for each team. In fact, interestingly for Bangladesh, they made two changes in the previous game, but they've resorted to the same team that they had against West Indies. Right? So they played the game against West Indies. They made two changes against Australia. And now they have come to this by reverting to the West Indies game. So somehow, I don't know, that also makes you feel with teams when they do that. You're going like, hang on, are you sure what exactly is going on? What are you guys doing? Sometimes that can be. But Bangladesh has been fairly decent in this tournament. What is interesting though is a little subplot that's happening, which I like to call the Asia Cup subplot. So India is already pretty much qualified. You have the 4 plates on the table, as we talked about on the Hindi show, Zach, Ashu and me. They've got 4 plates at the table. You've got Australia, England, New Zealand and India. Every now and then somebody comes and changes that plate or puts their fork or puts their glass. Right now there are 3 people who are standing at the table going, can I put mine in? Which is the little Asia Cup subplot. You've got Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. All 3 of them are saying, all right, we are hopeful of jamming our plate onto that table, on the top of that table, where those 4 are. But this comes with a lot of terms and conditions. Do you want to explain those? Because you just did. When we were in the green room, you sort of figured it all out. Of who has to beat who and what has to happen.
The team which has made this possible so far, this excitement, which were actually, it was going towards that it's going to be, that back end is going to be pretty stale because, we're just going to be waiting for who is number 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of a scenario with 4 teams being already selected. But now, the Sri Lanka game against England has opened up things very nicely. And you look at Sri Lanka's campaign now. Who are they playing against? They're playing against South Africa, West Indies, who have not had such a great World Cup so far.
Man, it's
so
really,
that can work for their advantage. So they have to beat India badly. If they win all the 3, they're going to end up at 12 points because they're already at 6 points. So mathematically, if they can get that kind of momentum going, if not 12, they can at least get to 10 points, which is going to put pressure immensely on England because if you look at England's fixtures, they're playing Australia, so one team is going to lose there. And they are
playing
India
the other 3 basically, right?
Yeah.
They are playing the other 3 who are in the top 4.
They still have to get to 12.
Yeah.
Because 11 points makes you secure to go through, in a way.
Yeah. 12 makes you sure.
12 makes you sure. So at 10 points, if England has to win only 1 game now, because they got tough games, Australia, India, and New Zealand, anything can happen.
They're playing the other 3 in the top 4.
Yeah. And they're playing table toppers.
Yeah.
These top 3 teams they are playing, which is going to put more pressure. So I think for England, it's become a little bit of a tricky scenario and situation. Maybe that one rain-affected game might come to haunt them because at one point in this scenario, they can't afford to win 1 game.
Yeah.
They have to win 2 games to go through to the semi-finals, wherein Australia, India, New Zealand, they are sitting pretty because they've already passed that. Plus, their fixtures are relatively easy. India needs 1 game to get to 11. Australia needs 1 game to get to 12. So that will actually secure them. Here at the bottom, if you look at Pakistan also, that's another interesting thing.
Yeah.
They just have to beat New Zealand in the next match. And with that momentum of the previous match which they've won against South Africa and New Zealand, that will get them through to Afghanistan and Bangladesh because, that is, you would always want...
The little Asia Cup subplot.
Exactly. So they can get to 11 points. So for England, it's a must to get to 12 points. And this is World Cup pressure which we are talking about.
Oh, man.
So from being the strongest team of the World Cup, one of the strongest teams, England now got themselves in this kind of a soup.
Yeah.
This
is what in Delhi.
I was just going to say, it's not a tricky situation. They put themselves in quicksand, really. And they really have to get themselves out of this.
Just keep peddling and peddling. This is what in Delhi we used to call, if they qualify, this is what we call LLMP. Latak ke metric pass. Right?
No, but those teams actually are
dangerous sides.
Dangerous to play once they get to the semi-final.
Yeah.
Because you just imagine the kind of pressure England team is under at the moment.
Yeah.
The talks must be that, oh, hang on, we are we're supposed to be #1 ranked team in the world right now.
Yeah.
And we are now got ourselves in a scenario and losing to Sri Lanka, who has not been in greatest of form.
And that too with a 230 score.
And Pakistan also, who were coming off such a loss against West Indies. They could have actually closed the tournament there, for if not their spot there, they could have just been at the tabletop, but has not happened. So that's something which will actually help them if they get through this phase.
Correct.
Yeah. Because now it's pretty much knockout games for them as well. To win 2 out of 3 is immense pressure, and especially when you're playing against stronger teams in the tournament.
Yeah.
So that is something, if they get through, will go a long way for them to play the semi-finals.
100%. So right now they're under the pump.
Yeah.
If they win these next 2 out of 3 games, they'll go into the knockouts with tremendous amount of confidence.
Then they'll win.
Then that confidence could carry them through.
Yeah. If they win 3 out of the next 3, if they do it, and it's going to be very difficult because tomorrow they have Australia, then they have India, and then they have New Zealand. If they win these 3, then they're going to lift the cup.
Yeah. It's safe to say.
Nobody's recording
Hope your
this.
prediction is not coming true today. What are you going to predict?
Today I'm going to predict with Bangladesh batting first, Afghanistan bowling. My score prediction is 164. My 11 circle expert count prediction, I'm starting it off with 164.
This is GK's tactics, right?
Yeah, just
He's
like
figured that, I've actually said that India is not going to win the World Cup. Let me predict something which doesn't come true. This is the pressure prediction. Hang on. If it comes true, 164, you know what's going to happen?
So I'll tell you one thing. By the way, if my saying that England wins, which is my analytical, philosophical, psychological reading of the situation, if my saying that if England wins all 3, they'll win the World Cup, if that's considered unpatriotic, then I'm willing to end that with a Jai Hind, right? So that you believe that it's patriotic. It's my reading of the game, right? I'm going to be completely neutral here. I'm not going to be all jingoistic. Take out a hand pump like Sunny Deol in Gadar and say, India, India. No, man, come on. We're cricket fans, right? Cricket has to be the real way.
Smoothly done.
He's covered it nicely.
Yeah. Smoothly done.
Pressure is off.
You both still haven't given me a score. What's your score?
236.
236.
227.
227. You guys are, this is a par score at this surface is what we realize. So you boys are showing no faith.
Bangladesh, with all due respect, have been batting really well. So that's been their highlight of this tournament. That their batsmen are coming good. Their hundreds there in that top 4. 300s, I think, in that top 4. Shakib's got couple.
Yeah.
Mushfiqur Rahim's got one. So you see the openers coming into form a little bit. So you know that they're going to bat well. I'm sure they understand by looking at these games. So they're not novices in the World Cup anymore. They've a lot of these guys have been playing their 3rd or 4th World Cup.
Correct. So you think the openers will do well today?
Yeah, I have a feeling that.
Ab ki baar Tamim aur Sarkar?
Yes. Oh my God, I love this.
I don't know what's going on today, man. There's a rain delay by 10 minutes and the toss delay by 10 minutes just gave me too much time, basically. All right, so we've got our guesses in. What's your guess for the My 11 Circle Expert Couch? Send us on #Cricbuzz Live on Twitter. I haven't been here for a while. We're still doing the Joy Factor question? Or
Yeah, we still are.
All right, let's have a look at them. Let's have a look at it. Come on, let's show it. What's Professor Bhattacharya got for us? Which international cricketer gets his nickname as a derivation of the nickname his father had in international cricket? His father got his own nickname for obvious reasons. Alright, if this was a Bollywood question, I would have told you it's Rakesh Roshan and Hrithik Roshan.
Yeah.
Guddu and Dugu. But in cricket, I'm a little lost right now. I don't know. Do you guys have any idea? No. Any clue? Any hint? No. Any country? Any era? Any time frame? Something?
Must be from Joy's era.
Yeah.
From the early 30s then. The early pre-independence. Pre-independence era. He started a volleyball league, but you spiked him right now. Completely. Boom. All right, well, hashtag Cricbuzz Live. Send us your answers on Twitter. I'm sure we've already got a few answers coming in for that, even with the tough questions we do. We're going to go now. We're going to see you at the end of the 15th over on Cricbuzz Combox. It's been fun. Thank you so much. Zaheer Khan, Robin Uthappa, Gaurav Kapur. My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. That's all for now. We'll see you in a bit.